Okay, for tonight's homework, I'm going to have you look at this problem of solving a system of inequalities. I'm going to check a good point, show you what happens when I plug in a bad point. Make sure you write all of this on a separate piece of paper and write the 5-word secret message to let me know that you listened to this. You also have daily homework, so make sure you do that. Write any 3 problems, write 2 sentences explaining each. You might want to use the sentences that I write in our notes. So here we go. First problem. When you're doing these, before you graph, you need to always solve both for y. The first word is green. Green. So I'm taking that first equation there, negative 2x plus y less than 4. That is not solve for y. So easy. In one step, I'm going to add 2x to both sides, and that gives me y less than, remember less than is the one that looks most like a capital L. Y is less than 2x plus 4. So if I graph that, y is less than always means shade below the line. I don't care what the line looks like, which direction, shade below, underneath. That inequality by itself means an incomplete line, dotted line. Dotted line. Less than. Not less than or equal to. Can't include points on that line. That's what I got to do, dotted. The slope and number in front of x is 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And my y-intercept on the y-axis is the point 0, 4. So I go to 0, 4 on my y-axis. And I'll do that here shortly. So 0, 4 right here on the y-axis. From there I go up 2 over 1. If I run out of real estate, stair step the opposite way. Down 2, left 1. Down 2, left 1. Still equivalent 2 for your rate of change. Draw a dotted line through those. I'm going to shade below just a little bit. Don't go crazy. Just shade a little bit until you could see where they overlap, and then shade in that 1/4 of the graph. So my blue line right there. My red line. And the next word, second word, is light. Light. For my red line, x plus y greater than or equal to negative 2. First step is to solve that for y by getting rid of that x minus x on both sides. That gives me y greater than. Y is more than or equal to. More than, greater than. That doesn't look like an L. More than or equal to negative x minus 2. Any graph more than or equal to, shade above. I don't care again how the line looks, shade above the line. And because it's more than or equal to, that is a complete inequality. You want to draw a solid line. No dashes, solid. My slope, the number in front of x, is a negative 1. We assume you know that's negative 1 right there. I'll write that in green so you can see, which means for that slope, every time I go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. My y-intercept is 0, negative 2. So I go down to 0, negative 2 on my y-axis. And from there I go down 1, right 1. Make sure you stair step the other way. Left 1, up 1. That's still equivalent. Negative 1 rate of change. Negative 1 slope. Left 1, up 1. Or down 1, right 1. Solid line through there. Shading above just a little bit. And then once you shade just a little bit, your eye should be able to tell you where those shaded areas intersect. I can see the 4 parts of my graph. There's nothing right here because that goes up, that goes down. Right here you got half overlapping. This way coming down this way, but this is going up. You can see up here there's no double overlap. But in this quadrant, this is coming down and this is coming up. These are coming together. That is the happy quadrant right there. That is your solution quadrant to this system of inequalities. So once I identify that, I'm going to solidly fill in just that 1/4 of the graph so I could clearly see that that quadrant is the solution quadrant. Everywhere in that quadrant except on this dotted line. That dotted line boundary is a no-go zone. You can't pick any points on that part that is a no-go boundary. But any point along this line, any point inside here, no points on the dotted line though, any point in there. Please make sure you graph like this. I don't want to see you going crazy and drawing a bunch of shaded areas and I'm not able to see where they intersect. Just looks like spaghetti. So don't do that. Shade a little bit until you see where they overlap and then fill in just that 1/4 of the graph. Now for the check. Pick any point in this area. Go easy. I'm going to pick the origin 0, 0 right there smack in the middle. I could pick that. So if I plug in 0, 0, the beauty of that is 0, 0 is easy money. Anytime 0, 0. So if I plug in the point 0, 0 clearly in that zone, it will satisfy both of those inequalities. So if I go back to those original inequalities and plug in 0 for x, so I get -2 in parentheses 0. The third word is sky. Sky. If I plug in that 0, I get -2 times 0 plus 0. And that is 0 plus 0. And 0 is less than 4. Yes, that's true. If I plug in 0, 0 in here, I get 0 plus 0. And of course 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 is more than -2. You'd rather have $0 than owe someone $2. 0 is more than -2. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to pick a point or two in the bad zone and show you that they do not satisfy the inequalities here. The fourth word is down. Down. So picking a point in the bad zone, I'm going to pick a point over here where none of them shade. That should fail for both inequalities. Then I'm going to try to pick one on the shade on the dotted line and show you what happens there. So if I pick this point right here, -5, 0, that is in neither shaded zone. So -5, 0, x is -5, y is 0. Plug those in. -2 times -5 plus 0 gives me positive 10 plus 0. 10 is not less than 4. That's false. If I plug in -5 and 0 into the bottom equation, I get -5 plus 0, which is -5. And that is not more than -2. That's less than -2. Another bad point I pick will be a point on this dotted line. So if I plug in that point, which is -4, -4, it will almost give me a true solution, but because of inequality, it's a no. That's why you can't pick points on the dotted line. I get -2 times -4 minus 4 gives me 8 minus 4 less than 4. 4 is not less than 4. That's why that's a no. Can't pick points on this dotted line. If that was less than or equal to, that would have been good. And I would have drawn a solid line showing I could pick points on that line. But inequality, that's plain dotted line. You can't pick points on that. It will not satisfy either of the inequalities. So I'm going to stop right there. My final word is water. Water. Good luck.